look, you wanted to chat about the Man United squad and Amorim as well.
Yeah. Let's get on to that.
Let's get through United. I can't. It's
Let's
making
just
me.
get United over and done with as quick
Let's
as
get it
possible.
over and done with, and then move
All
on
right,
to.
all right. For your sake. So I don't know how. I don't know because we've changed our mind a few times on this. So basically, what we're gonna do, I'll read it out because I've got it written down here. We're gonna go through the Man United current squads, and basically, I'm gonna say the name, and then we're just gonna decide whether you'd keep them, sell them, or maybe even loan them out, depending on like what type of player they are and stuff like that. So
Right, so
there's 5
this might
players.
be, this
There's
would be
5
quite easy
players
for
I'd sell.
me. I might just say sell for every fucking one of them, I think.
no,
I'm
I've
going to
kept quite a
caveat
lot.
this, right? I'm going to caveat this. There are some players that have ability.
Yeah.
Rashford being one of them. That if he goes to Alcohol's Anonymous, no, that if he get that
I love my rumour has really hit home with you, mate.
if he plays under Amorim, he might come in, get the best out of players. The confidence is getting higher. So I'm interested to see some of these players that I won't go into and I won't talk too much about, but the likes of Rashford, Højlund, what will they do back with confidence? Maybe even an Anthony with confidence. Who knows?
No, I'm not
No
having that.
way.
I'm
Right.
gonna push
Anyway,
it. Yeah,
don't spoil it too
sorry.
much because we're gonna go through it now. Anyway. Yeah. So if we disagree, we can go through it. However, if you all agree, just give a brief description why, and some of them will be obvious. So yeah. We ready?
So wait, though. Well, look, just to be clear, is it a sort of keep, sell, or loan? What are we saying?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be a few. There'll be maybe one or two that you'd probably consider to be a loan, but most of them are going to be either keep or sell.
Keep or sell. Okay.
And this is United's 30-man squad, yeah?
I've got 26 of them down at the minute.
26.
I've got 26.
Unbelievable. It's a 30-man squad. Come
Oh
on,
well,
Luke.
I mean, should I go down the academy and put them down as well?
Well, to be honest, I think that's the only ones that you should keep.
I was about to say. All right, you know what?
8-year-old bully.
I'll fill in any gaps for you, Luke. I'll fill in any gaps.
Yeah, all right.
What are you going to go? Goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders?
Yeah, I'm going position order, so starting from goalkeeper basically. So Anana.
Sell. No,
Keep.
I'm joking.
Keep.
I think keep.
The backup keeper, Bayındır.
Yeah, keep.
I have no idea who he is.
All right, goalkeeper, Turkish international, isn't he? He's only played 3 appearances. He's only 26. Yeah,
I put keep/loan.
Tom Heaton, get rid of before.
Yeah, Tom Heaton. I've got sell.
Well,
no. Can I just say, right, with people like Tom Heaton, I think they're underestimated in the sense of what they add in different ways, not just in terms of performance or
no, we get it
to play. So I wouldn't necessarily just sell because he's never going to play. I think depending on what he brings to the wider squad in terms of development, I'm guessing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Must be what 40. I don't know how old.
I think it's like 38, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an old guy, so you're not going to get no money for him, is it? So there's no point selling.
No, but we mean like release.
Well, then, so you've got to ask your question: what value is he adding to the squad in a different way that it's more than just performance? And that is,
yeah, but there's loads of goalkeepers out there like that.
But I'm not right. Like, if you're doing this based on performance only, I agree, sell, right? But if you're saying what he's bringing to the keeper generally and squad morale and whatever else, I don't think you should just sell people.
I think he brings good squad morale. I saw a little thing on the United in the other day around like player faces they'd mixed, and people seem to respond well to him. It's like, they seem to like him. But from an experience wise, I mean, this guy was on loan for United for like 5 years, playing with like QPR and Rochdale and Wickham or whatever, and then he did like, what was it, Cardiff, Burnley. Like Burnley was his big thing.
That he must have, though, Jay. Come on, right? We had Adrian for a long time, right? And he wasn't a great keeper, but in terms of what he brought to the squad, in terms of the professionalism, and in terms of his maturity, and more than just goalkeeping, he was a really great person for us, and I think we laugh and joke about it when he got released in the summer, but honestly I think he brought more to the squad than what you think. And I think, I don't know for sure, maybe Heaton is a complete tosspot and he doesn't bring anything.
No, I think you look at how he is and you look at videos of him, I guess there's the character side of it, but for what we probably pay him, goodness knows what United pay him, but
I just think a lot of money.
Well, let's just keep it to football. Like, I don't
get rid then. release.
Yeah. I don't care if he gives Mainu's lifts to and from school, or if he does Anthony's shopping. I don't care about that. I care about is the ability of the player and the
Yeah, and
Well, we're
situation.
talking about
he's
based on ability.
there's
Well,
better
this is
goalkeepers that
this
can
is going
come
to be a
in.
long-winded. You might as well just sell them all, then, fuckers.
No. uh, okay. Anyway, moving to right backs. So Gallo,
Yes, keep all day long. Great
keep.
player, great
Dallo,
passion for
probably
United.
one of the
Yeah,
best players that Man United's got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd keep.
Mazarawi, another easy one in my opinion. Keep.
yeah, keep had a great start.
Early days, yeah, I'd keep.
Delict, again, same with Mazarawi.
Yeah, keep all good.
Keep, yeah.
Lissandro Martinez.
Yep, keep.
I've got keep.
I don't know.
I've got keep as well, but
I'm
I
gonna.
do think he has high value. To be fair,
He's a
I
great
think
centre
sell.
back.
I think sell.
Great
really,
centre back, agile. In the formation Amarin wants to come in and play,
I think they've got other issues, haven't they?
you need to keep him all day long.
Yeah. Okay. Lindelof, sell.
Keep.
Really?
Really?
You think
Yeah, yeah.
he's not good enough?
I think he's all right. I'm interested to see what he can do underneath Amarin. High work rate, passion for United, doesn't make massive mistakes too often. Versatile player, can play in multiple positions.
Okay.
I.e. wing back, centre back, or even in the midfield, as Ruud van Nistelrooy brought him on a couple of times to do. So yeah, keep.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'll be interested to hear what you think about this one then. Harry Maguire.
So
I gotta admit, Jacob is the biggest anti Harry Maguire fan of all time.
Yeah, I know. So am I actually. Never understood why
Can
they
I
played him
say,
for
right?
England.
So there's two perspectives here, right? From a Liverpool perspective, you should keep him. From
Oh
a Man
yeah, well,
United
if we're doing
perspective,
that, Dad, I'll
you
keep all
probably
of
will
these
keep
then.
them.
So there's
Yeah.
two defenders, and I won't say the other one that I would sell, and it's for two complete or get rid of for two completely different reasons. One, I actually think the last couple of games Harry Maguire's played in, he's been brilliant, but the damage is already done. He needs to go. He needs a clean slate somewhere else. We need to release the amount of money that we pay that guy. The damage is already done, and I think he'll actually go somewhere else and do really well. But the reputation with the United fans, the reputation within the squad, I think is just damaged with him. So it's too much water under the bridge for Harry Maguire.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, I've got him as sell as well.
I think keep.
What about Yoro?
Not even
Too early.
seen him injured
Keep.
in training. I mean, he's going to be great. Keep.
Well,
You hope.
yeah, you hope. Yeah, I
He
mean,
will be. He will be. Don't you
he's a
worry
good
about
young
that.
talent, but
I honestly believe he'll be a really good player. If Man United don't destroy him, I think he'll be a Man United
I
good
think
player.
he's going to be a brilliant player underneath Amarin. Can't wait to see it.
okay. Johnny Evans, again, probably similar to Tom Heaton, but we don't care about whether he gives people lifts or not.
So he's the only other defender I'd get rid of, and
Yeah,
I'd get rid
sell.
of him at the end of the season. He's done his job. We only got him back into the squad just as a filler, and then we offered him a permanent contract again. Legend of the club, did a load for United. Love him to bits. Puts in the effort, but next season will be just too much. It's too much. It's gone too far.
So can I give you a perspective here? I think Johnny Evans is a really good player to keep, and for the very reason that he's a fifth defender, not in the top four. He is your backup if you have a real bad defense, injury issues. I think what he brings in terms of experience, in terms of how long he's been with the club, I think he'd be a better keep than the seller. I think you get more value keeping him than you would selling him.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but again, I don't know. I didn't want to go too detailed with it, really.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on to left backs. Luke Shaw. This
keep
was a
all day
tough
long.
one for me. This was a tough one for me because he's never plays at the minute.
He doesn't, but if we can get him fit again, he's a quality.
Yeah, but that's a
left wing
big
back.
if. That's a big if. He's had injuries this whole time at United. He's been there since like I was born.
He's like pushing 300 appearances. He's great.
Do you know what you need to do with him? If you play him in a white kit, I reckon he'd be fit all the time. I honestly believe he will. When he's England's club calling, he's
England,
fit all the time.
straight. Yeah, I know.
So
Goes to
Man
United.
United, if you change your kit to white, he'll be fit all the time.
Only play away games, and he'll be all right.
But he is keep.
Yeah.
Okay. When I look through the squad, I can't believe this guy's still here. I didn't even realize he was still a United player. But Malacia.
Honestly, that was the one that I was thinking about today. Is he still there?
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
just
know. Is he?
injured, but he's just started training again. Absolutely
So
brilliant. What a
sell.
left back he'll be. Incredible player.
No, he's a sell for me.
He's a sell because another left back, Harry Amas.
Keep.
Yeah, young player.
Yeah, I put
No
/loan.
appearances. He's no appearances in the first team yet, but he's a good.
Yeah,
He'll be
I've heard
good.
loads of good things about him.
He'll be good. So yeah, keep. So for me, there's only two defenders to sell, and that's Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans for two completely different reasons, polar opposites.
Well, speaking of sell, Casemiro.
Oh,
No, keep.
No way, he's gone. He's on like 400 grand a week.
I don't care. Keep. He brings every experience imaginable to the midfield of United. You have to have that type of player on the pitch that can come on, level set, players around him look to him and go, okay, we're solid. He, yeah, you. Ruud van Nistelrooy was talking about how he recognises when to press. He's controlling the midfield. 100% you keep him. I don't think he plays 90 minutes. I don't think he's a starter for United all the time, week in, week out. But 100% you keep him.
Jacob, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
He's on 350, 400 grand a week, and you want to play him as a reserve. That's not a good. That's not good business. That
Not as a reserve, as a rotation player.
even then, someone who's on 350, 400 grand should be a first team key player.
Mo
But
Salah's on that and he plays every game.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
argue. Yeah, but Liverpool's on a different echelon to Man United when it comes to salaries. But what I would say is, I agree what he brings is amazing. But when you're paying what you're paying him, and let's face it,
Just another
he's
year,
not
just
in.
another
He's
season.
sorry, yeah, no, he's not in his like twilight years of 35 or 26. He's what 32? I want to say he's 32, 31. I don't
No,
know.
you're
I
spot
don't
on.
know.
He's 32, yeah.
Is he 32? You should be getting a lot more from a 32-year-old than what he gives you. And I personally think he's taken a spot of someone who could be a lot better than him.
Okay, so hear me out. You play. What's he going to play? He's going to play like this. What? Probably this 3-4-3 that he likes to play. Amarin, yeah. If you take that squad, you're going to have Ugarte and Mainu sat in the centre mid CDM type roles, box to box midfielders. Bam, 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 bam. Mainu is not going to be able to play that week in, week out. Casemiro can come in. They can rotate. Casemiro can start. Whatever. Mainu can come in. Casemiro is the master of that type of role. So I think
So,
that Ugarte and Mainu will learn a lot from him.
so the idea is that by selling him, the idea of this whole object, this is my understanding of why we're doing this, is what we're saying is if you were to sell him, you could upgrade him to someone else that's maybe younger or hungrier or has different skill sets that would add more than just what you're saying. And let's add, is probably going to want significantly lesser salary as well. So for me, if Man United are going to be successful, and let's face it, when they were the most successful, they didn't have the Casemiros of the world on 400 grand a week on a rotation basis. They were bringing youth through, like, the Nicky Butts and the sort of, I'm just trying to think of all the top of my head, but, all the guys that Man United do, the class of 92 and
I
all that sort of stuff. But the point being is the Casemiros of the world are preventing others coming through, in my opinion. And I think you got rid of the wrong guy. You should have got rid of Casemiro and kept the guy who went up to Napoli and personally myself.
100% agree. Well, I 100% agree with you.
Because he should have been that rotation guy,
But
not
I
that's
think
already
Casemiro.
I
happened,
think you
so
could
we
get
can't.
like 30, 40 million for Casemiro from like Saudi League as well. That's the thing.
Probably get more than that. But I
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so he has value still, but I just don't think he's able to
I
class it
just
in
I
the
don't
Prem like
I
he.
look. I think the only player that I'd want to buy in that role is I'd want to bring McTominay back. Um, but that's not happened. It's been and gone. So yeah, I've said keep. I can see the argument for sell, but I said keep on him.
Move on.
Yeah.
But you guys say sell, which I
Well,
understand.
I know you're a bit of a big fan of him, Jay, or I might have that mistaken because you were saying to start this guy. But Ugarte,
Yeah, keep.
again, I'd keep as well, just because it's early doors, but we haven't
Early
seen enough of
doors.
him
It's
yet.
Not
too
seen enough of
early
him
to.
yet.
It's too early to say if he's going to be good or not. I think based upon his stats at PSG and previous to PSG, if he can perform to them levels, then he's a definite keep.
I mean,
Yeah,
his
and it's
best form came under Amarim as well at Sporting. So
100%. I was about to say he's an Amarin player. He was, yeah, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm positive mindset.
fair enough. Mainu.
Yeah, keep all day long.
Yeah, but he's got no experience, so why would you want to keep him?
What are you on about?
I'm not taking the piss. Yeah, definitely keep Dad.
He's look, he was England's best
I
player
think
when they
Mainu for me, I worry with Mainu in the sense that I think he's a really good player. I mean, for England, he was exceptional. He was really, really good, considering the age and all that, and the pressure that he was under and what he dealt with. My worry is, and a lot of players I think end up being like this, is they come through a big club like the Man Uniteds or whatever, the any Man Uniteds, and sometimes they're put on a pedestal and they're not as good as what the pedestal's given them, if you know what I mean. And with Maino, I'm undecided yet. I'm not quite sure if he's actually as good as what people think he is, or whether it's just because he got through the Man U ranks.
No,
Now,
he is brilliant.
the fact that he got through Man U ranks says that he must be good. So I'm a definitely in the sort of keep. I think Man United have to keep him. I'm almost build a squad around him, but I'm still not in the camp where I think a lot of Man United fans are, which is he's going to be like the best player ever in midfield. I'm not there yet. I don't think he's nowhere near that level yet.
Well, he's definitely a keep.
I'll
Anyway,
take that for a 19-year-old.
Mason Mount.
Sell.
Sell quickly.
Should
I
never have
agree.
bought and sell. That's
Yeah.
all.
Christian Eriksen.
Sell.
Sell.
Yeah, I agree. Again. Bruno.
Obviously keep. I don't want him to be our captain, but that might change. His attitude might change under Amarin, but keep.
Yeah, I want him to stay just so I can see someone like nail him in the United kit still.
I think he's not. He's not going anywhere. He's got a good deal with Manu. He's never going to go anywhere.
Such a
But
creative
he
player.
is.
When
No,
he when he
he's good
plays
enough, isn't he?
well, he's unreal. Yeah.
Okay. Amad Diallo.
Keep.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah,
more. I mean, have you finished on midfielders?
yeah. Well, if do you want to add someone else?
We've got two more kind of like younger players that are in our first team squad. Collier and my gosh, what's his name? Daniel Gore. Um, I mean, I don't agree with having two young players like that. I think our midfield. I think we need a space filled by a more experienced individual. Christian Eriksen, Mason Mount are good enough. They're both good talents. I'd probably get one loaned out and bring someone else in.
I mean, I didn't know enough about them, so I didn't really
Yeah, no,
want to
that's
comment
fine.
on it. But yeah, if I miss anyone, then let me know. But yeah. So yeah, we all said keep Amad Diallo though, right?
100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's exciting. I think he's
he's
good.
quality. I wish he got more game time, to be honest. And he's not a teenager. He's like 22 now. I'm hoping that he'll get more game time under Amarin.
Um, Anthony. Do we even need to say
So from a
anything really?
Liverpool perspective, keep.
You know what, right? Terrible player at the moment. Attitude all wrong. But I know you'll say, oh, but you worked with Ten Hag before and he was fine. I didn't watch enough of him. I know his stats look good, but not a great league. I want to see him under Amarin for the rest of the season and see what we can do. And if he hasn't got time, if he's had the chance and not played well, sell all day long.
So say
What's
you
today?
receive
What's
15,
it
20
today?
million from West Ham. Would you sell him or keep him?
Keep him because that is a huge financial loss for us.
I know, but he might just never get. He might lose value more and more the shitter he gets.
Yeah, but you've already lost enough, haven't you? So you might as well give him the rest of the season underneath Amarin, see what he can do, and then make a call at the end of the year.
Go
In
on,
my
Dad. What were you going to
opinion,
say?
in my opinion, he's quite possibly the worst player ever to put a Man United shirt on.
No,
and
Joshua Xerxes is worse than him at the moment.
I would pay 20 million to get him off the books.
I'm just
Honestly,
I'm interested to see what he's like underneath the new manager.
I think that's based more on hope than anything. That is not based on anything apart from hope. I think he's quite possibly the one of the the money that's been spent is probably the worst buy I've seen in the history of the Premier League.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
he's
that
definitely
money
up there at
was
transfers.
but that money was spent because of his ability, right? Same sort of stats as Jadon Sancho. You know, he was like the best wide midfielder in Europe when we bought him, and look what he came and did underneath the manager. So again, another player that I know he's out on loan at the moment, but we talked about it last week. Already got bagged assists. Got Borussia Dortmund. He was a part of the squad that went to the final of the Champions League. Couldn't do anything. Barely ties laces for United underneath Ten Hag. So again, I'm keen to see if we were to get him back from loan, what he'd be like underneath Amarin, because I love Sancho. But yeah, anyway, Anthony, impartial, so you could say sell, but I am interested to see what he's like for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's sell. Garnacho.
Oh, keep all day long.
Yeah, I'd keep as well.
Yeah, keep.
Now this
He's
is going
not
to
the
be an
world.
interest. This
He's
is going
not
to
the
be an
world class
interesting one.
talent that I think Man United think he is, but I think he's a keep.
Marcus
You know,
Rashford.
I saw something yesterday on Garnacho that underneath Yamal, he is the most based on I can't remember what the data it was, but he would be forecasted to be the most expensive young player underneath the age of 21, I think it was. Yeah, in the world underneath Yamal. It was a stat. I can't remember what it was, but it was like Yamal and then him and then Zaire Emery were the top three.
That's probably
Anyway,
just Man United tax, though, isn't it?
I don't know what it was based on, but yeah, it was interesting. I read
So
it
yeah,
yesterday.
as I said, this one will probably be an interesting one. It depends how you view it. So Marcus Rashford,
Keep.
Dad.
Keep, get him through Alcohol's Anonymous and see how he gets on.
I don't think there's any value in selling him now. I think he's Man United through and through. He needs to see his course and stay there. I think for the whole career.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
love
mean,
Rashford. I want him to
I've
come
got
good again.
I've got keep as well because he's got ability, um, and apparently he's got a major alcohol addiction as
I
well.
think I think with the right manager, he can be exceptional again, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah, yeah. I'm really, really excited to see what he's like under Amarin. It's just such a different type of leader to Ten Hag. So yeah,
Speaking of keep, Xerxes.
sell should never have even been bought. He looks like a clown on the pitch. He looks so scruffy. I don't know why he's showing up looking like he does. He looks half asleep. He's clueless when he's walking around the pitch. I watched him when he came on against Chelsea. My dad and I were watching it. He didn't make a single successful pass. He gave the ball away every single time. He was slow to look up. He was slow to release the ball. Awful. That's me.
I
Sorry.
mean,
Rant over.
fair enough.
So I think keep then.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I
No,
think start,
I think it's
start.
too early. I think it's too early with him. I do. I understand what you're saying, Jacob, and I think there's a lot of frustration. I think a lot of the frustration is based upon I think the general underperformance of Man United as a team rather than just him as an individual. I would argue that I'd probably want to see him over a bit more of a longer period to see whether he could, maybe, change or what. There was a reason you bought him in the first place. I really do believe there was something there and he was really
I
good
do,
at in
but
Italy.
look
I
at the
do believe
record.
he's a good player.
Bayern Munich bought him, right? He scored his first four goals in 17 games, and then they whacked him out on loan. Parma, Anderlecht, whatever else. I don't know. For me,
I think he's
these
too
clubs
young,
just
he's
keep.
too early. I think you have to keep him at least another
He's
year.
23. He's older than Garnacho. 20 is
Well,
like
no. I
it's
get that, but that's still quite relatively young. I do believe that's still really young.
it is.
I think you need to give him. I think you need to give him a year or two. Let him adapt to the Premier League. Let's face it, not many players adapt to the Premier League straight away. No, not many players do. Yeah, and you've got to give him at least 2 seasons, and I think only then will
Mm,
you really know if he's valued. You didn't buy him for. I mean, was it 30 million or something like that? I want to say 30 million, which is don't get me wrong, is a lot of money, but from Man United's perspective, that's quite cheap.
Yeah, 5-year deal we signed with him as well. For me, it's
I
just
think
like,
you need
ugh.
to give him a couple of years. I don't think the value is going to go down that much that it's worth selling him at this stage. I think he's a good rotating player. I think once he adapts to the Premier League, I think he's got more than what you think. I think he'll be better longer term.
He's had
I
one
really
goal
do.
in 16 appearances. Anyway, yeah, I'm
Did he
not a
score on his
fan.
debut?
Yeah, he scored in his debut. Got very lucky, I think, with the finish. It looked quality, but yeah,
um, and the final player I've got on my list, but I might have missed someone, Jay. So correct me if I have. But Hoyland.
yeah, I keep.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep,
Keep.
keep, yeah, keep.
We've just got Wheatley. He's had four first team appearances. Young local guy. I think that's good having that kind of academy player through. And then obviously Sanchez out on loan. I'd like to see him come back under a new manager. Yeah, we're pretty agreeable, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
think so. Most of them, yeah.
half of them will keep, half of them will sell, really, weren't they?
Yeah, when you break it down, I think it's a really weak squad. It's a young squad as well, though. So yeah, a couple of seasons underneath Amarin, see what happens.